Morning. We did not get much rain last night, just enough to run us out of the field. Rained for about an hour and then quit, so we are back rolling this morning. What we got going on this morning is, so we came to this field where we got rained out, and we are going to test some seed treatment for our seed company. So what we got going is we filled my planter with the seed that has the new treatment on it, and then we have the other bean planter on the other end of the field with the standard treatment. So the varieties are the same. It's the same variety soybean. The only difference is mine has the treatment. The other bean has, they're treated beans, but this is a higher treatment. It has Levo, and that is for white mold and sudden death in the soybeans. So this would normally cost a little more to have your beans treated with this, but we were given this treatment by the company to test out and then give them the results. And so I'm down here in the light blue and he's up there. No, vice versa. He's in the light blue here and I'm up here in the dark blue. And we are going to work towards each other and come together in the middle, and then we will get the results when we harvest. The way that we will get the results is when we harvest, I will put, the combine will know the varieties and where they're at in the field, and so I set this up as a separate variety from the other one. Even though the variety of soybeans is the same, I set it up different so the combine will recognize it. So the planters are 40 feet, and we run two 40-foot draper heads on the combines in the fall, so they match up exactly the same, kind of like you do in corn, and the combine will recognize it, and then it will map it as a separate variety, and then at the end of the season we'll be able to run a report in our computer program that will tell you the yield on this variety and then that variety, and then we'll be able to measure the results that way. So how we're kind of doing this is the company gave us 90 units of soybeans with this treatment on it to try, and so this field is 90 units would be enough for 90 acres. So this field is 90 acres exactly. So he'll plant 45 and I'll plant 45, and it'll be a 50-50 split in this field. And then we're going to take my planter to a different field. Be totally different soil. It's a lot higher organic matter, more black dirt, what we would consider our highest productivity ground, and then this field we're in now would be what we would consider our lower productivity. So we're going to test it on kind of both ends of the spectrum and see where that seed treatment really shines. The field we're going to take it to next is 60 acres, and I'll have about 30 acres worth of seed left. So then that field will be split 50-50 too. So we'll have basically two fields that are split 50-50 and be able to kind of evaluate the results from there. All right, so we got our low productivity field done with our little check plot we got going here. Then we got moved over to this farm. You can see the difference how black the soil is. This is just much higher organic matter, a lot higher productivity. So this farm is actually where I did the very first video with the spreader truck. Kind of a unique farm. It is about 1,000 acres of contiguous ground, meaning that there are no roads that run through it. It is basically all one field. The phone calls this time of the year just never stop. So the what I was saying with the ground, it's 1,000 acres contiguous, meaning that it's all one big parcel. It's obviously not all one field. We have ditches and our own like gravel road system that separates it, but for the most part it's all one big giant area. There's no public county roads or anything that run through it, so it's unique. My grandpa got in with a business partner on this farm in the 80s, and then we've been farming it with our partners ever since. This guy right over here, probably a little tough to see, but the guy running that tillage tractor right there is the one that my grandpa got into business with in the 80s. He, if you follow my Instagram, you already know this, but he just turned 90 years old last week, and he is still out here running the tillage tractor in front of me, in front of all the planters. He does probably 90% of the tillage down here. So for 90 years old to be out here doing what he's doing is pretty awesome. He told me before we started planting that it is this will be his 70th crop. So for the farmers out there, you know how remarkable that is. I think they say the average farmer gets about 40 to 50 crops in his lifetime, so he is far surpassed that. So pretty remarkable to be working alongside of a guy like that. So I'll just get out right here and show you a little bit about how different this ground is. It is super powdery soft. I mean, it is like all topsoil. So we're putting the beans in about the same as what we've been doing on our other ground. There's really no risk of the ground sealing over down here. I mean, this stuff is just super powdery. We manage this more like a conventional tillage situation, where we would work it in the fall. So this was corn stalks last year. So it's very different from what you guys saw yesterday, but that is the diversity in our soil. So we have some that we manage more like a no-till or a minimum till situation. And then we also have this stuff down here that we manage more in a conventional tillage situation. So just wanted to show you a little bit of the diversity that we work with here in Michigan. One of the main reasons that this farm is managed so differently is, one, we don't have hills in this certain area. So we're not worried about erosion and holding the hills from washing out and that stuff, so we can manage it in a more conventional style tillage practice. And two, this is some of the lowest elevation in the entire county. So when we plant this soil is so black, it's probably, well, it's 65 degrees today, but I bet that dirt's 80 degrees. So, and there's moisture there, so the soybeans will literally be up in probably 3 days. And if we don't have, if we have trash on the top, it will actually draw in frost if we get cold weather, and it'll freeze off the soybeans. So it's another reason why we have to kind of mix all that trash in and make the dirt kind of come to the top. Trash goes underneath it. All right, we are making the last pass on this field with this seed. We have the seed tender at the end of the field, and I'm going to put in what the other bean planter had in it, so it'll be the same variety of soybean that we had with just the standard treatment on it. It's not going to end up 50-50 on this field. It's going to be about 40 acres and 20 acres, but we will still get some good information out of the yield results at harvest time. And just like that, we are back to our more minimum till, sandier, rolly hills type dirt. We are back to planting soybeans in between the corn rows, much like you saw yesterday. This field was worked just ahead of me a few hours ago with Salford vertical tillage tool. Kind of chopped up the stalks, and it seems to be planting really nice. But we are about 4 miles from that field that we were in, where it was flat and black, and just a totally different type of tillage practice. Even with all the diversity in the ground that we have, there isn't much that we have to change going from field to field like that. once in a while, if you come from a conventionally tilled field to a field with more residue like this one, we have to set it down like a notch deeper to get the beans covered up. But for the most part, all we really do is add some more down pressure to the airbags on the row of the planter to get it to go in the ground easier, because it's not as soft, it's not as powdery as what we were in before, and we do that right from the computer in the cab here. So there really isn't much to change. These planters are very versatile, and they go across a wide range of our ground. Well, we're back in the black dirt, not planting. We caught up to the tillage tractors for the soybean ground. So I hopped in this, we'll call it specialty tillage tractor, prepping some ground to plant to corn tomorrow. So it looks like a piece of junk we pulled out of the weeds, and it pretty much is. We bought an old cultivator from a neighbor, and we made it into a 3-point style hitch, and we call it a scratcher. What it does is, in this black dirt, we raise really good corn, and the fodder makes kind of a mat on the dirt and seals in the moisture. So this basically just breaks up that mat and allows it to dry out. So we'll come through, because this is nowhere near a finished seed bed by any means. We'll come through with the disc and rolling basket and hit this tomorrow right ahead of the planters, and it'll plant really nice. So I'll just hop out here real quick and show you why we're doing this. You just get this like carpet of corn stalks, and underneath it is just mud. So breaking that up like that will just help to dry it out a lot faster than just trying to do it one pass with a disc and basket. One thing I forgot to mention is we are not doing all the acres of this type of dirt with this tool. We're just doing the lowest of the low spots where that crust kind of forms, and we're just trying to break it up. Most of this farm will be fine with either a disc or basket or whatever tool we decide to use. We're just trying to break up that crust in the super low spots. So you saw a little bit of the scratching we were doing yesterday. So then we are laying it out with a disc and rolling basket on this area, and then I am getting in the one of the Selford tillage tools. So this is the first time that I'm getting in one of these tools for the season, so we'll get some footage of it. So this is one of the Selford tillage tools that we run. I showed you guys a lot of what it looks like after it's been done, but like I said, this is the first time this season that I've been in one, and with the dust it's definitely tough to see, but it's just a bunch of wavy coulter blades, and they're all independent from each other, so very different from like a disc or other VT tools. They're all independent, so they can flex and move on their own. So I'll just hop out here real quick and show you these wavy coulter blades. So these are all, like I said, independent of each other. They can swivel, so you can kind of make some turns with it. So there's 21 wave or 22 wave coulters on the front, and then 8 wave coulters on the back. So the back is a little more aggressive. And then these tines just kind of help level the trash behind you. And then these baskets on the back, they actually do quite a bit. You can kind of see in the video, it fluffs the dirt behind it. So there's really 3 parts of the tool. So with this tool specifically, this doesn't go for all vertical tillage tools. because all of them are different. But with this tool, the faster you go, the better it does, just because those wavy blades do more work. It's very different from like a disc or a vertical tillage tool where you can angle a set of blades. This is, like I said, all independent, so the faster you go, the better it does. Well, we got that 30 acres done, so that's ready to be planted to corn tomorrow. So that's going to do it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and don't forget to check out our Instagram. There's not a whole lot on there yet, but I plan to do more, so we'll see you on the next one.